we could change the narrative? What if we adequately prepared moms to be, even just young adults, for the intensity of parenthood and how to get there will be, instead of romanticizing it with baking goods, bags of flour, or an egg? What if there was support available before, during, and after? What if we did things together instead of praising each other for doing it alone? How did society get so far into the narrative that strength comes from going alone when we are clearly better off in groups? I definitely cannot answer that question, but I want to be outspoken about motherhood transitions. I want to be the living proof for others to do the same. Right.
Okay.
So I thought I picked this excerpt for our conversation today with our guest because I felt that it really encompassed both what, I am trying to do with Mama Outspoken Village, and as well as what our guest is trying to do with his new film that he is debuting. But our guest today is Jamal Smart, and he has been creating videos for over 10 years, starting with music videos and commercials. However, in the last 2 years, he has shifted his focus to telling meaningful stories through film, stories that deeply resonate with him and his community. So he has a debut film called Behind the Joy, and the inspiration for this film came from hearing countless stories within his community about the challenges they faced, particularly surrounding mental health and postpartum depression. As a Long Island native, first generation Jamaican American, and father at the age of 16, Jamal often became a source of support for those around him who were struggling. Growing up in a Jamaican household, Jamal witnessed how mental health was often stigmatized and seen as a sign of weakness. He knew this mindset needed to change. That realization, combined with his passion for storytelling, fueled Jamal's journey as a self-taught filmmaker to create work that uplifts, educates, and inspires. So welcome, Jamal, to Mama Outspoken podcast. We are happy to have you on today.
Yes.
And, yeah, so I love how we met in just by happenstance on following each other on Instagram, and being able to learn more about your video, your film that you've created, in and how you do speak out for those that need to be spoken for in the community that you're a part of is so aligned with what I think that Bobby and I are also trying to do, to be outspoken about these things. So I would love to ask you, my first question was supposed to be who you are, but really, who are you, Jamal? What makes you you? And tell us a little bit more about you.
What makes me me? I don't really know. I feel like I do things that God places on my heart, and just I always tell myself I can do anything. If I can see this person doing it, I can do it. So that's what really makes me me, and yeah, that's pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. So it's simple, yes.
Yeah, simple. Yeah.
I think Bobby can agree with simple.
Yep.
What makes him him.
Sometimes simple is the best. You don't want to over explain anything, then you just start rambling.
Yep.
So, what is your why behind your film? Behind your film, Behind the Joy?
So I have three whys. The first why is as you explained in the intro, a lot of our communities have suffered with mental illness and just postpartum, and just never speak anything about it, and it shows up in different ways in our life. It shows up in different aspects, and I would like to be the person to say, like, it's courage to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to start asking for help, and we have to be there for one another, because you never know what somebody's going through. A second reason why I created this film is like I said, I created videos for about 10 years, but I always created off of someone else's work. Like a music video, I'm not in control of that. You have the artist, or a commercial, I'm not in control of that. You have the you have the business owner. But I never made something for myself that I felt like I did from start to beginning. That's another reason why.
Mhm.
Then the last reason why is I told myself I want to do something creative each year and something to push towards my career. Um, I first started out, I did a photo gallery. I found like a camera from 1947 and one of my investment properties. It was like a World War II camera, and I took pictures with it. And I posted it on Instagram and stuff like that. But I felt like I didn't receive what I wanted to receive out of it. So I told myself I'm gonna throw my own photo gallery. So I did that, and it was just so beautiful seeing all my friends and family there, and it felt good to see them in that light instead of just seeing them at a funeral or
Mhm.
seeing them in a tragic area. And I'm the new uncle, so it's like I remember back then we used to go to Splish Splash together or go to the music park, and I don't know, it's inflation is crazy, so I can't afford to bring 60 kids to eventually. And so I was like, I'd rather do something creative and like bring my whole family together. So Behind the Joy was one of those things that bring my whole family together because it's gonna be like, gonna be semi-formal. We're gonna have a red carpet. We're gonna have pictures that's gonna last a lifetime because the memory is the first thing to go, and having those
Mhm.
pictures is gonna drive back so much memory. So that's another reason why. So
Very
those are
cool.
my two main reasons why.
Beautiful. I look
That's
forward
cool.
to the premiere. It's exciting to see someone else using their creativity to spread awareness to
Mhm.
maternal mental health and postpartum depression and anxiety and
Mhm.
and how it affects our communities, especially locally.
And especially from a male's perspective too.
Yeah, and a lot of it's funny till this day. A lot of people think I'm a female on Instagram and stuff like that, and they get so surprised, like, "Oh, he's a guy, he's a black man." I was like,
Huh.
"Yeah," and I felt, and once they see that, I feel like it makes it even better because I'm like an outlier in that aspect. Something that
Mhm.
I think it's like one of the 48 powers of law, but I'm something so like, wow, I didn't expect that, and that draws you more to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, on Instagram, what's your like handle? I guess you would
My,
call it.
so my Instagram is for the film is Behind the Joy Film.
Uh
Then
huh.
my personal Instagram is We Want Zungi. Even in the bio, I have directed and written by We Want Zungi, but people still think I'm a girl.
Yeah, that's
But
weird.
behind the joy,
Yeah.
postpartum,
I
pregnancy.
mean, it's not a topic that us men, really talk about because we
Yeah.
Definitely
we
not.
don't know, and so it's a weird topic, but I like it. I really like it, and I like that I gravitate towards it because you can make any film. You can make a film about shoes. You can make a film about something that doesn't matter. But when you make a film
Yeah.
that's going to impact and you feel like it's going to change people, and a lot of people who've seen the film, they really resonated with it. Some people told me they cried watching the film, and like the
Mhm.
film. I was like, wow, like something that I created, just cranking away nights and stuff like that, writing the script. It resonates with so many people.
Yeah.
That's not talked about at
Yeah.
all. Like even in Jill's book, like people don't talk about it like over family meals. Like it's something taboo.
Mhm.
Mm. Yes, but as we grow and as we share knowledge, we're gonna come as a collective and be able to talk about those hard things to talk about because difficult conversations need to happen almost every day.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of unawareness around this. So I think that's what also makes it difficult to have the conversations that we're just not educated on
Mhm.
what does happen
Mhm.
and or what can happen. So when we don't know what it might even be, it's hard to have that conversation.
Or we just know too many people that just are like, oh, having a kid was great.
Mhm.
Like, oh, nothing like it was an awesome pregnancy. Like they brush it off, but they don't tell you the dark side of it.
Yeah, that's why it's called Behind the Joy. You got a big bundle of joy,
now
but
makes sense.
joy, something going on. And plus, with the society we live in now, we only get updates through social media, and no one's gonna show the bad side. 99% of the time, they're not gonna show you the bad. They're gonna show you all the good things, all the positive things, and that's how people get caught up in like, oh, this is so amazing because they showed it was amazing. Like, no, it's like it's hard work, like it's hard work, it's dedication.
Our parents told us that it was easy.
Yeah.
And they go on and say, like, yeah, just have more babies. Like, no, like I'm still recovering from the first one, and he's 5 years old.
You have more babies. See how that works.
Yeah, that is the struggle. Like we're 4 years postpartum, and we're on the fence. Do we or do we not try again? And I'm kind of hoping through this podcast we can kind of figure that out. But but also like there's trauma involved in our story.
We learned a lot
along the way, and we have been educated a lot as well to say maybe it will be better the next time. But
you know what scares me? I have like 2 friends, right? And they will come to like the interviews I do, or they will see the content, and they were like, you make me don't want to have a baby. It's just like, where's the positive at? And I always try to spin a positive, like, oh, I always ask the last question I ask a mother or a parent, would you have more kids? Some of them say, yeah, I want a whole tribe, it's worth it. And some are like, no, never again. Like I had a bad experience that's it. I'm like, oh damn. And that's the real reality,
Yeah,
it is.
And it takes sacrifice, as a parent. It takes real sacrifice.
I think we decided in the recovery room that we were never doing this again. But there's hormones in women's bodies that make them forget all the trauma, and they are nurturing, so they're like, let's do it again. And
it's 4 years later. I mean, it took a lot for us to get to talking about actually having another one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's a difficult decision, and I'm kind of curious, and this is a random question, but it has to do with it. What was your thought when you were a father at 16?
Oh, it was.
How was that?
It's still an out of body experience, and I was just scared. I was scared to tell anyone and stuff like that. I was really scared because I was like, I don't know what to do, because I lost my mother when I was 11 years old, and my father was not really around, so I was living with my aunt. So I'm like kind of an orphan, but not. So I was going down the road of like, okay, he's having a child at 16, he's doing this, he's doing that. Even though I wasn't a bad kid, but I wasn't doing the best in school. So it's like all these statistics and everything is in my head, like, bro, like, is my life over? It's like, and I felt my daughter, she came to teach me patience, to teach me to take things seriously. And it's like to show me that, my mom can be reincarnated, and I can have that love again, because that she is now my family. That's something I created, and I can influence and be the father that I would want, and just be the parent that I would want. So all those things come into my mind, and I had to lock in, really.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, that's a lot for a 16-year-old.
Yeah, it is a lot, but everything I went through made me the man that I am today.
Always does.
Yeah.
Wow. I wanted to say something before about the book too. Anyway, living proof. And I think that's what you're doing with this, because you had said that you wanted it to, you both were talking about like letting this be something that you start to live by example with. And that's exactly what I think with like showing the hard part on socials, and not, it's all not, what do we call it? It's not fluffy bears. Like taking care of things is not always joyful. And I like that I strive to be living proof, and I'm loving that I'm seeing that. And actually both of you guys, just from our conversation tonight. So
I love that title though. Like
Behind the Joy.
No, living proof.
Living proof.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You gotta lead by example, because a lot of people's not gonna listen to talk.
Yeah.
You have to lead by example, and sometimes they don't even get to the example. So you just gotta really do it for yourself.
What is the message that you are trying to have your audience take home with them through your film Behind the Joy?
So the message I want to leave with is, do I need to have a conversation with my partner about how she's feeling? Or do I have to make that phone call and not just, and I'm a culprit of this too. I have many friends that are like, that have kids and stuff like that. And the first thing I ask is like, oh, how's the baby? I never ask how you are and stuff like that. And I want to have those conversations. I want like people to do wellness checks more and stuff like that. Or, let's go outside, or let me take you out for lunch and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's the message I want to showcase, because it's not all pretty all the time.
We need a village.
Yes. Mama Outspoken village. That's what you need. A Mama Outspoken.
Yeah. But I'm glad you said it. Asking the question. That is my friend Sonia Murdoch with the Postpartum Resource Center. That is one of their campaigns, is ask the question. And that's, don't just ask how the baby is doing. Ask the mom how she's doing.
I feel like that changed a lot after what you went through and what we found out. And now I'm asking more moms, like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Instead of how the baby's doing. Like, if the baby's alive and breathing, like,
great,
it's good. Yeah. How are you doing? Like, yeah, because our neighbor just had a newborn, and I've been asking her when we see her, like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on the baby. And that, I feel like everything that we went through, and that changed a lot. And that's a lot for a person to ask how they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the male lead in the movie, his name is John. He is the number one thing. Like he's like, oh, we need to worry about the baby. We need to put our feelings aside. He'll text in the middle of the day, say, how's the baby doing? Send me pictures and stuff like that. So it, like the experiences that I went through, and the experiences that a bunch of mothers and parents, because when I was writing this, when I was writing the movie, I did a case study with about 30 parents that I know that went to postpartum. Then I pulled some of those stories and grouped them all together. And then I brought the script to the labor and delivery educator at Good Samaritan Hospital, where I work in. I work as an IT. Nothing to do with like maternal. And I told her I was doing it. She was like, really? Then I was like, oh, can you read the script and like, tell me what you think? And she helped me put this movie, like, to have it be more realistic. So
gotcha.
I'm really grateful for her to do that. And it's like a lot of the things that I've seen in the stories that I heard are put in this film. Like, and it's like you have to watch it like a good 3-4 times so you really get like, oh, okay, I see that, this person is suffering with postpartum anxiety, or you have another person suffering with postpartum psychosis and stuff like that. So it's like it touches on many subjects. And I actually had Sonia Murdoch of postpartum. She watched the film before, and she was like, "Wow, like you did a really good job." Like she was really impressed. Yeah, and she was like, I was talking to like a good 30 minutes, and I was like, yeah, and this part, like, yeah, I noticed that. Like, so from her to get that blessing for her, and it's like, oh, you know, hit on like a lot of points, and I was like, oh, okay, I did something that's gonna be impactful.
That's awesome.
Yeah. so excited.
Yeah.
My last question for you, Jamal, is how can others be of service or support, especially after watching your film? Like what do you hope others can do after watching your film?
I think we need to have more just more classes, more workshops centered around
Yeah.
postpartum, prenatal, and stuff like that. Because I see it in movies all the time, and the people around me that's having kids, I don't think they ever did anything like that. So
Yeah.
the more like knowledge that parents can receive, the better. Like I'm gonna have resources at the movie premiere. I partner with Women Diversity Network, Suffolk County Minority Health, Postpartum Resources of New York, Nassau County Health Department. I'm talking to I don't want to butcher her company's name, but SEMA. She's looking to give out free scholarships for you can get trained as a doula and stuff like that. She's located in Port
Ooh,
Jackson.
awesome.
And yeah, so having more of those workshops and letting people be educated, because this is an education experience for me. I was never like in women's health and stuff like that. I started this year because
Mhm.
it's something that I seen my community suffering from. So I just did a deeper dive. And when I was, learning about it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need that when I have my next child. I'm gonna need a doula. I'm gonna need a midwife. I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need
Yep.
just every support avenue I'm going to get, no matter.
Yes.
You feel me? So
Yep.
I want people to walk away and say they are resources out there. Don't be afraid to ask the question, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Oh, I love it.
We
Thank
cannot
you.
we cannot do this alone.
Yeah. You definitely need support. Oh man. And I think we feel that same way. We looked into all the different resources. We're like, we are definitely getting this next time. We don't
Yeah.
need this next time.
Yeah.
You know what? We could do that next time. So I feel you on that one. But so I look forward to seeing the film myself. I cannot wait for that.
Mhm.
And then I'm sure we'll have another discussion about that
I'm
afterwards.
very excited about it.
So you will see us at the premiere.
I just today I went to go see the I did like a test run of the movie at the movie theater. Looks so great. I just can't wait to see everyone's beautiful faces in the packed out theater, and I just say we're here, and everyone's screaming, and we just start the movie and just enjoy and just share the knowledge that we all come together to do.
I love it. Exciting. Well, thank you so much for your time for having this conversation with us, Jamal. I look forward to working with you and being more outspoken in this community and helping others be too.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate being on your platform and just sharing my film, my passion, and my movement.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Jamal. We will.
Thank you again.
All right, Bobby.
Close us out. Oh my goodness. So that's all for now, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks, Jamal.